Hello, everyone. The defense headquarters have summoned soldiers, to grill them. Someone and grill them in Abuja. We have Punch carrying this on, and this. Let me just give you a background a little bit. This came in after the Kebbi Kebbi school girls abduction. Remember, there was an abduction that happened some time ago in Maga in Kebbi State. And one of the things that came out was that the soldiers were withdrawn or withdrew or left their post. So whichever one is now when they do their investigation, the who says. But the question that a lot of people have been asking is that who gave the command for the soldiers to leave the spot and for the terrorists to have this, or access, free access to be able to go in and abduct, the schoolgirls. And this is not the first time that such a thing is happening. Even a lot of the abduction that happen, you always hear that it is either hours or days after the military that have been guarding the place and staying on ground would have been moved away. And with this abduction also was the fact that a lot of people, there were intelligence sightings that look, it seems these terrorists are moving because these terrorists they are not ghosts. They are just ragtag people that Nigerian government is using hand to play with. They walk, they pass. So in your own villages now, you will see movement. When they see their movement, usually that's how people are able to, report and say, we are sighting these people, they are moving towards this way. And after this report, then these people will now come and have a field day. And the military would have been withdrawn just before then. So these are the questions that have been coming up. But we are seeing here, the report here says all military personnel attached to the government girls comprehensive senior secondary school Maga in the Danko Wasagu local government area of Kebbi State, where 26 schoolgirls were abducted, is it 26 or 28, are currently facing interrogation at the defense headquarters Abuja, Saturday Punch has learned. A credible senior or government official told one of our correspondents that the DHQ had begun investigating the sudden withdrawal of military personnel from the school shortly before the abduction. That investigation needs to really happen, and who gave the command, and they need to trace it, not the one they will investigate the boys, punish the boys, and then leave who gave the command because of esprit de code and we kind of a thing. No, that shouldn't be allowed to happen. Whoever it is that is going to, but they need to go down all the way. We've seen this thing, like I repeated, like I said before, repeatedly. Remember when Dapchi girls were abducted? Dapchi girls is the abduction where Leah Sharibu was taken from, and up to now, Leah Sharibu was the only one that was left in captivity. The Nigerian government negotiated for the rest, and and they were brought back. Leah Sharibu was not brought back because she refused to, convert to Christianity. And I asked, how was it possible for the Nigerian government to negotiate and leave a child behind just because of what? There is nothing that warranted Nigerian government leaving her there. They needed to do everything that needed to be done to bring her back. But it's been years and nothing, and she's still over there. In that Dapchi abduction, five students died unfortunately during that whole incident. But the same story was told that military in the like military posts, close to that area, leading to that place, they were all withdrawn. And not long after their withdrawal, the terrorists came to attack, past, vehicles, loads of schoolgirls, and they were able to drive freely for hours, out of it. So it is something that it's very important that for the military to really find out how does this repeatedly get to happen where soldiers are protected and then they are asked to leave and terrorists attack. A credible senior government official told one of our correspondents that the DHQ, that's the defense headquarters, had begun investigating the sudden withdrawal of military personnel from the school shortly before the abduction. Terrorists stormed the school on November 17, killing the vice principal, Malam Hassan Makuku, before whisking away the 26 students. I mean, now that man is dead, you can't ever bring him back to life, just like that. A man who just went to work to fend for his family. It's not as if his salary was that extravagant. It's not as if he was enjoying life, and extravagant or whatever. Just managing, just surviving, and yet he doesn't have the security for him to be able to be secure in his own country and in his own place of work. This is a good thing that the military headquarters, defense headquarters is actually investigating it, and hopefully let's see what the results are, because a lot of people have been calling for this investigation. They are according the coincidence is one too many, and now it begins to beg for answers. However, two of the guests later escaped from their captors, leaving 24 still in captivity. Calls for probe. The abduction sparked outrage, prompting the state governor Nasir Idris to call for a probe into the sudden withdrawal of the military personnel from the school. Speaking after a closed-door meeting with the Minister of State Defense, Bello Matawalle, the governor revealed that the state government had earlier received intelligence reports suggesting that the school was likely to be targeted by terrorists. Imagine, even at this whole load, wouldn't it have been better for the school probably to shut down and say, okay, let the kids go? Wouldn't this have been the opportunity where there would have been more reinforcement sent into that school rather than now withdrawing, the one that was there? He said security operatives were deployed in response to the intelligence, questioning why they were withdrawn shortly before the attack. We need to know why they left. We had intelligence, we provided security. So what happened? The governor asked during the meeting. Okay, so I think from what I'm hearing, it was after the intelligence that they did provide that security, which was then withdrawn. The district head of Maga, Mohammed Danteni, also stated that the military personnel withdrawn from the school premises around 1 a.m. No, there's something absolutely fishy about it, because why are you sending signal at 1 a.m. for them to withdraw? And then, if not that, you guys, there's a plan or something that is really going on. He said, around midnight, I called to confirm whether the soldiers were still at their post and was told they were, but unknown to us, they left the school around 1 a.m., just shortly before the attack began. We still don't know who gave the order or why they withdrew. When the bandits arrived, the police officer said they took cover because the attackers were far too numerous and opening fire would have meant certain death. The number of bandits and their level of firepower were overwhelming. With the army absent, the police felt engaging the bandits would be suicidal. While we understand their safety concern, the lack of resistance allowed the bandits to operate from around 1:30 a.m. until 3:30 a.m. without opposition. The school children, however, regained their freedom on Tuesday after the federal government negotiated their release. The Kebbi state government said medical examination confirmed that the girls were not sexually abused while in captivity. Personnel summoned to Abuja. Speaking with Saturday Punch, the senior government official said Kebbi was awaiting the outcome of military investigation into who ordered the personnel to leave the school premises before the attack. The military personnel who were stationed at the school have been summoned to Abuja for interrogation. Well, let's hope that something comes out of this. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.